Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Sold Sign Real Estate Unplugged. We are your host and favorite realtors, Naya
and Lauren,
and we are so excited to be back with you all for another episode this season. So let's get right into it.
All right. So you've been outbid, outpriced, and out of patience. Rates climbed, prices soared, and you hit pause on your home search. But then, surprise, the market shifted, and suddenly the home you thought was out of reach is back on the table. In 2022, first-time homebuyers were determined to beat the market. They got pre-approved, toured dozens of homes, and submitted offer after offer. One home had 12 offers. Another was sold before their showing. In total, they wrote 7 offers, each time losing to cash buyers or over asking bids with waived contingencies. By mid-2023, they were burnt out. They renewed their lease, shoveled their dream, and focused on saving. Fast forward to early 2025, their lease was up again. Reluctantly, they dipped their toes back into the market, but everything felt different. Homes were staying on the market longer, some 30 plus days. Sellers were offering closing help and even rate buy downs. Competition was lighter, no more 10 offer pileups. They toured a well-maintained townhome they loved, and it was still available a week later. They submitted a full price offer. The seller countered with a 2-1 buy down offer and agreed to pay part of their closing costs. They closed in 28 days with inspections, financing, and the ability to breathe. The husband said, "We thought we missed the market, but it turns out we were just early." Mm-hmm. That is definitely what is happening in the market right now, right? I felt like
absolutely
we saw it start definitely early 2025.
Yeah.
Started that shift. And unfortunately, people were losing jobs, are losing jobs. They don't really have or feel the job security any longer. Even if they do still have their jobs, they're like, wait a second, we're not going to go and buy a house and put ourselves at risk, not even knowing if our job's at risk. Like, we don't know what's going on. So I can completely understand what's going on and how and why that shift is happening. So I do see that with early 2025, that whole shift started. But I feel like even more summer of 2025, like May, June, July.
Like people still feeling a little hesitant, or just the homes sitting longer?
Both. Buyers are more picky now. So homes are sitting. So if you're a seller, if you're a seller and you are thinking that you're going to put your house on the market because your neighbor put their house on the market last year and it went well over asking, they had so many offers, whatever, and then you decide to do the same thing this year and your house is just stagnant, like you're just sitting, you're trying to figure out what is going on. Well, last year buyers weren't as picky. They had to get what they could take. This year, and they had jobs, right? Solid. They were good to go. They knew and they felt like, okay, everything is good to go. Now it's like, wait a second, I really need to think twice. As a buyer, let me go ahead and see this house. I love it, but I don't feel as secure. So I'm not going to put an offer, and there's not as much competition out here. And like they said, they toured the house and a week later it was still available. Because other buyers are also thinking, like these buyers, like, okay, it may still be here. Or let me see what else comes on the market. Let me see what else is out here. And it seems as though buyers right now are not, even if a house is listed at $400,000, but they don't want to pay that, or they don't feel like it's worth that, they will not submit an offer that's less than $400,000. They will wait for the seller to drop the price of the house, and then they may go back. But I tell buyers, like, if it's been on the house longer than a week, I feel like you can do that. Like, go ahead and you can offer less. Let's see what we can negotiate, because once the seller drops the price and it drops into a different pricing bracket, that's going to bring a whole different pool of buyers out. And then now, when you weren't in competition and you could have maybe negotiated with the seller, now you're in competition, and that may then drive the price up a little bit because they just dropped the price. You get a whole new pool of buyers, and now it's like, dag, I just missed out. So if for whatever reason there is a house that you love, it's sitting on the market for a week, 2 weeks, go ahead and negotiate and see if you can get it for a lower price. That would be my kind of take on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I would say basically the ball is kind of in the buyer's court
Right now. It is.
There's more supply. There's less demand.
And it's not even that, it is supply. There is a lot of supply.
Yeah, there's more supply and maybe just also because they're just sitting longer, like so the supply is there more than it's like disappearing in a second.
Snatched off the market.
So the ball kind of is like in the buyer's court right now. So it's definitely okay to tour it, to see it, to like it, and to still think like, okay, let me sleep on it for a day or two. But like Lauren said, if you feel like you want to negotiate and land on a price maybe that's different than what it's listed at, go ahead and like jump on that opportunity to do so, because you have a little bit more say and like wiggle room right now in like getting what you want from the seller, even if that's just seller credit or something else. Like it's much more manageable right now. So yeah, the ball is in the buyer's court
for sure. Yeah. I'm like, you got a home inspection? Where do they do that at? People not doing home inspections. Now they are. Buyers are doing home inspections.
Certainly.
And it's not just like a 3-day home inspection, which is what we were doing in previous.
I want 7 your time, but I'm like, yeah, you can go ahead and ask for that 7-day one.
Yeah, it's like 7 days in there, and the sellers are like, okay, I'm sign off on it. It's an offer, right? Because they may not have anything that's coming in. So it's like, and like the market ebbs and flows, right? So it's very like up and down 1 year or 6 months, half the year and the other. So it can shift. But right now I feel like it's shifting because buyers are more picky. They don't really want to take the risk. And I mean, we're in the DMV, so we're very much in a government town. Like that's mainly the jobs here. So a lot of them are kind of like, well, let me just wait a second. And sellers are feeling like, dag, maybe I should have sold last year before all this came about. So I'll just
and I will say, like we always say, you cannot time the market, and you certainly cannot like predict how current events, like things are happening every day. So you can't predict how, things will play out. Yeah. But for the buyers who I think who are so stuck on waiting for that market to crash, that is not what the data is saying. Regardless of these current events and things that are happening, like experts and the data is saying that home prices are going to continue to rise. Yeah. So, and we're not going to see a significant drop in the interest rate.
Right. No.
Like those COVID interest rates, it's like, I wish y'all never saw that, because
I know
we're not going to see it again. And I think there are some buyers who are missing out on good opportunities because they are like, nope, I'm waiting for that crash. Wow. You're going to be waiting.
Yeah. You don't, why?
You can't wait for something that we don't ever know is going to happen. Yeah. You have to like literally act on what we have, what we know, and go from there. And right now is like a really good time to like create your own market crash scenario and like get a good deal from a seller.
I don't know. So good. A market crash scenario.
Yeah.
I love that.
Even if like, I don't know, with prices rising and okay, let's say interest rates stay right where they are today. If the price keeps rising and you keep sitting on the sideline, like your budget from what you could afford today is still going to keep dwindling like further away. So you might want to talk to some professionals, talk to a mortgage lender, talk to a realtor, and like see what you can do today and create what your scenario is. If you have a good agent and a good mortgage lender, like you will get a winning situation with like what you want to pay and the kind of home that you like. Yep. But you have to start sooner than later, or you're really just gonna like continue to miss out completely.
Yeah, because you don't want to miss this time.
This time right now is like sellers are, I don't want to say they're throwing it, but like they've got a loosened grip.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have
might be able to snatch something. So you might want to
take advantage.
Get some feelers out at least because
No, I agree. And sellers, like you gotta realize walking into this when you're listing your house, and you know, us as realtors, and we come in and we tell you, hey, here are the comps for the last 6 months. We're not telling you this just to make you mad or just to be like, you know, we're telling you this, one, because the appraisal is going to happen. The appraisers are going to look at those comps over the last 6 months. So we are trying to tell you, hey, listen, if you listed over comps or you listed too high right now, buyers are not going for that. They just aren't. They're like, you know what? Fine. We'll just wait. We'll let it sit on the market and we will wait until you drop it to where we feel like it should be. And that's just what it is. So when we go in with our sellers and we're having these conversations, we're telling them up front, listen, if you want to really go ahead and price it where you want to price it, okay, we will respect that. But if for some reason we do not get any offers or showings in that first week, immediately, like we're dropping it. We're going to have that conversation up front, just so you know. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, but I want to start here. And I'm like, okay. And then some sellers are like, yeah, let's actually meet the buyers where they are in the market. That way we can still get some, like we can get people that want to come into the house, come see it, and we'll get an offer, especially if you're trying to move pretty quickly as well. So
our strategic pricing hasn't failed yet.
It has not. So, I love our strategic pricing.
Yeah.
That's for another episode.
Yeah.
But I think we do get there. And us as agents, just helping our clients, whether it's buyers or sellers, just understanding the market and what's going on. Buyers, we're just teaching them continuously just teaching them and educating them on what's going on, how the market's shifting, what they can ask for right now, how things may change. Sellers doing the exact same thing. So we're just keeping y'all kind of just up to date with everything that we're seeing in the market to make sure that y'all have all the right information. So I think that is it. I just feel like, you know, the right time isn't when it's always like the hottest. It's when you're ready to move and the market gives you room to move. And right now, the market for buyers are giving you room to move and room to breathe. So go ahead and take that leap.
Yes, I love that. The market is giving you room to move.
Yeah, right? So, you know, if you
like that.
Yeah, if you're a buyer, I feel like, and you step back, I feel like it's time to just go ahead and take another look.
Yes.
And see what's up.
Absolutely. We are like, you know, more than halfway through the year. And so if you want to be a homeowner this year, like now is your time to shine. Yes. Seriously. So thank you for joining us for another episode. We hope that you take that leap this year, and we can't wait to see you in our next episode. Don't forget to follow us on all of our socials, Instagram, TikTok, and listen to us. Like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, anywhere that you listen and watch your podcasts. We are on there. See you next week.